And we're finally back. Been away for about almost a month to the day, I think. Been a busy month. Haven't had much time to do much besides work. Had to make some cash. And but now that's over. Christmas time is upon us. Holidays are upon us. Lockdown is upon us, except for us in Melbourne for once, which is nice. So I can start to work on some more tutorials, start doing live streams again. It's going to be a lot of fun. And today we're going to make a 3D Santa Claus with a real stylized, fun way of doing it. Anyone can probably do this with a basic grasp of 3D. So it's going to be pretty fun. And for those who rock up, I'm not sure if they will because no one has been on my channel for a month, but we'll get through it. I'm hoping to get done in about an hour and a half. I think I can, but we'll see what happens. But again, thank you for those who joined me today, and let's get rolling. We're going to just start with opening up Blender. Here we are here, and a new file. I have no design in mind. I have nothing in mind right now, but and this is just a default scene. But we are going to just hide away the light and the camera. Hey, dude. Thanks for rocking up, man. It's been a while. Yeah. Good to see you. I don't know if my chat windows are working. Is my chat window working? It should be working. I'm not getting any. Oh, there it is. It's just really slow. Shit. All right, cool. So if you don't see me respond all that quickly, oh hey, dude. If you don't see me respond all that fast, it's probably because I have a shitload of lag. Ah, no worries. Really appreciate the fact that you're enjoying the tutorials. I've had a lot of posts lately about people trying out their stuff, and it's really fun to see everyone's build things that turn out really cool. I'm really happy about that. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that default cube. I'm going to scale it down, and I'm just going to apply the scale. And what I'm going to do is very quickly, and this is using the latest version of Blender, by the way. So if you haven't updated, feel free to update. Yeah, it's been good. Just really busy doing freelance stuff. So I had to make a bit of cash. I went on a hiatus from freelance to allow myself to build these videos. And build videos, make content, and it was good. It was good to do that. And I want to keep doing it. But I need to make some more money. So freelance it is. And yeah, now it's just about really balancing that out and working on jobs that I want to do in the next year versus jobs I have to do. Exactly. So what we're going to do, we're going to add a subdivision modifier. And I'm just going to, yeah, totally. And I'm just going to add a few subdivisions there. And straight away, Control A, I'm gonna apply that. Let me just turn on screencast keys for you guys. And I'm gonna make like almost like a motion graphics style character. So it's not gonna be super detailed. It's gonna be sort of like cartoony and cute and kind of fun to work with. So I'm just gonna chop off the bottom of the head. And then I'm just going to extrude out what will be his head. It's going to be like almost like a tube for a face. And I'm just going to get that all the way down. And I'm going to expand that just a little bit. I'm still working on my film, dude. I'm still working on my film. A few updates are going to come soon. I've got a goal. I don't know how far I'll be able to get there, but my goal is to get that goddamn first scene done for my film, the wolf. I don't know if you've seen the wolf in my previous streams, but I'm going to be working on the wolf this week. I'm going to work on the animation and really try to push that out because I really want to get the first scene done before the end of the year. So the goal was to get the whole film done, but you know, that never happened. So I'm hoping that will work this time. I'm going to turn on smooth shading, just so it's nice and smooth. And that's his head. Very simple head for the body, for his face. We will add eyes, like little raisin eyes, and we're going to add some beardage. But for now, that will do. Next thing we're going to do is add his hat. So his hat is going to be very simple to do. So we're just going to actually grab these parts of the face, duplicate that guy, and I'm going to separate it with Control P, and using scale by normals, Alt S, I'm going to scale that out just a little bit, hold down Shift if you want to have it more subtle. And if you hear me sniffle, it's not because I have coronavirus, it's because I have allergies, alright? We did alright over the lockdown. I don't know if anyone is aware, I live in Melbourne, and we had a hard lockdown. We had a massive lockdown. And that's allowed me to make a lot of content, but yeah, it was a long period of just being at home. So for those who are experiencing that for the first time, properly this time, I feel for you. What I'm going to do next is grab the inside of that. I'm just going to scale that in. And then I'm going to scale out for the hat part. Again, if you type Control, well, I'm going to extrude first. And scale just a little bit. If you actually hold down Alt S, or sorry, Alt E when you extrude. Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like there at the moment. It sounds like a complete, well, to lack of better word, circus. It's just unfathomable in my eyes. It's just crazy. We had a few people trying to like protest in Melbourne, but like it was like 10 people and the cops just said fuck off. So I'm going to extrude across the normals and do that. Totally. So I'm going to then grab that and just bring that up a little bit and start to scale out what will be like the white part of his hat. And we're just going to quickly just bring it down, scale that in, and just getting that right amount of like fluffiness out of that. And now what we need to do is add the tail, I guess the tail of the Santa hat. Oops, sorry. Let's save this first as well. I'm just gonna chuck that on my my desktop for now. Fuck it. All right. So knowing which way is the front, so the front is that way. I want to grab probably like this area here. I'm actually just going to grab the whole top and then start to extrude out the tail of the hat. And inside view, I'm just going to grab it, extrude, and it might even be worth scaling down the top of the hat. And while I'm doing that, what's everyone else up to? What do they make? What are you making? What are you playing? You know, what are you watching? There's a lot of shit going out at the moment. A lot of TV shows, a lot of games. Obviously, Cyberpunk came out. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed lately myself. That game is just too big. It's just too much. I like it, but man, that is just ridiculous. It's just too much. Like, you know, we all have jobs. How do they expect us to get these games finished? Like, how do they expect us to finish the games, let alone, you know, just enjoy them? But yeah, I recommend playing Assassin's Creed if you're into it. I'm just not a big fan of RPG mechanics. That being said, I am going to be playing Cyberpunk soon, but I might wait for the patches to come out. So yeah, what's everyone else doing? Okay, here we are. Let's just scale that in. And apart from games, by the way, I'm watching a lot of Star Trek with my wife. She loves that show. So watching TNG and Discovery, and we're trudging through Discovery, but this season's a lot better than what it was last year. So this season was absolute a nightmare. All right. So as you can see, I'm just shaping the hat a little bit here. And just playing with the what the existing geometry is, and eventually I'll just squish it down and get to a point that I like. So I'm just gonna get it down, look a little bit further. Probably like, yeah, this level is probably good. Again, I'm not doing this for like any sort of design reasons. I'm just doing it because it looks kind of nice. And that's it. I'm just playing by ear. I'm just having fun with it rather than like trying to adhere to any kind of design principles or edge flow. I mean, there is going to be edge flow, as you can see. There's like, you know, it's pretty clean geometry, all things considered. But for the face, we're going to be breaking a few rules with face structure. So because it's a motion graphics style face, you don't really have to worry too much about like face loops and stuff like that. So it'll all come together once you see it in action. Whoa, phone went crazy there. And yeah, sorry. Just spam on my phone. All right. So just playing through like so. Santa's hat's coming along, and we can leave it around like that, something like that. And eventually we could probably rig this to have a bit of physics on it, like soft body physics, or we could add like a kind of maybe we can add some sort of bones dynamic. I can show you how to do that, but we'll see how far we get in this sesh. So I'm going to subdivide that with a subdivision modifier, see how that's looking, and I might smooth that out a little bit with a bit of a smooth brush. Let's add some symmetry. That looks better. That looks much better. There we go. And we can add a little bit of inflation, just to give it a little bit more of a thick top. There we go. But yeah, feel free to tell me what you've been up to. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, it's fun to talk about. Let's bring the strength down. Let's get that looking a little bit smoother. There we go. All right. After that, let's add a little bit of a ball for the oops, wrong one. For the hat at the bottom. So there's our little Santa hat stand. And if we smooth that out with a subdiv, it's looking all right to me. That looks pretty good to me. And of course, that could be a little bit better there. We could probably smooth that out a little bit. I might turn on wireframe just to see where the trouble spots are. And the reason why I'm probably getting those problems is because I need to subdivide that just a little bit more along there, that area there, give it a bit more structure. So now if I were to smooth that out, you can see it's looking a lot more structural. It's smoothing out a lot better now. And yeah, it'll look a lot better once it's subdivided. Yeah, there we go. All right. So for the face, it's gonna be really simple. So I'm gonna turn off wireframe again. I'm just gonna add some beady eyes. So I'm gonna use a plugin called Extra Objects, and this is free. It's already included in Blender, but let me show you what it looks like. Add mesh, extra objects. I'm going to turn on both actually, curves and objects. And I want to add a round cube because that's a nice, easy to subdivide thing. So if we go to mesh, now go to round cube. You can see it's a round cube there. And if we turn up the radius to 1, it becomes a perfect sphere. Scale that down. And the nice thing about this plugin with these round cubes is that they subdivide really smoothly. It's a perfect sphere. I'm going to turn down the render there. There we go. And we're going to add, like a snowman, some little coal eyes. Like so. I'm going to apply the scale, rotation, and location, and add a mirror modifier. And that's it. That's all we're going to do for his eyes. Really simple stuff. When you have a setup like this, you don't really need to worry about it. Yeah, there is actually. Because the sphere, the UV sphere in Blender isn't a perfect sphere. Let me just demonstrate. So there's our sphere there. Let's add a round cube. And this is the case in both, in any software, by the way. A UV sphere isn't perfectly spherical. So if I were to subdivide both, now check out what happens. So if I were to add, it's really hard to show, but it's really subtle. Let me just add a material to show you what I mean. Oops. Let's make that like a bright red. I'll just keep that as is. I'm gonna scale that up to match. Scale both. Let's just see. So if I were to match it up, if I rotate this, there's real subtle changes in the shape of the round sphere, of the round cube. So let me just turn on wireframe to show you what that looks like. When you're rotating this and you turn it this way about 90 degrees, it almost goes like to a slight oval shape. Whereas this one maintains its volume throughout the whole thing. Yeah, it's really hard to show you with just a basic sphere, but when you're rigging eyes and stuff, you'll notice it straight away. It's a really weird phenomenon. Let's add some eyebrows. Really simple eyebrows. I'm just going to scale down my cube. All the way down. No worries, dude. And here we go. Let's add a little bit of... So I'll add a few double subdivisions to this as well once I'm done with it. It's funny though, the eyebrows would probably be more expressive than the eyes if we were to animate this, and I got a little trick for animating this to make them dance and stuff. We'll probably use Mixamo. A nice easy way to this is a really fun way to impress your family and friends, I guess, if you were to like make an animated Christmas card on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok even, I don't know. It's a nice fun way of doing it, and especially if you make it animate really nicely, you just use it Facebook, not Facebook, it's Mixamo stuff to animate it to. So I'm just going to grab that, add a little bit of just a little bit of a stuff like that going on. So, and I'll probably shrink these down a little bit as well. Let's smooth this fucker out. There we go. Looking good. So what we need to do is just round out those eyebrows a little bit, just to conform to the body a little bit, the head. So I'm going to switch back to global mode. And just grab that. Like so. All right. I think that will do. That will do, I think. Apart from that little bump there. I pushed it too far. There we go. That will do. And I might just rotate those geometry just a little bit to conform to the edge flow a little bit. All right. Eyebrow done. Let's apply the rotation, location, and scale. And add a mirror modifier. I'm going to move that on top of the subdivision, by the way. Do the same thing with the eyes. May as well have good habits from the start, huh? All right. And I might move these I might move them up just a little bit, and apply the location again. Cool. Nose, again, big round ball. I'm gonna add a round cube just in the middle. Like so. You can see it's coming along pretty nicely, actually. Looks great. I think it looks fun. Why is my screencast keys not working? I didn't realize that. I'm not sure why they're not working. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure why it's broken. Probably because of the latest version of Blender. Oh, okay. Interesting. Alright. So, let's add a mouth. So the mouth is going to be a really simple, in this case it's actually going to be a curve. So the curve is going to be just a circular curve, like so. I'm going to rotate it sideways. And in the curve settings, I'm going to change it from, in the geometry, I'm going to add an extrusion. Not extrusion, sorry, a bevel. Increase the depth. And then I'm just going to scale down the geometry inside edit mode. Right down. Kind of looks like Pingu. But how cool is that? You could do some cool stuff with this. I'm going to bring down the extrusion. Oh, sorry, the bevel again, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And very simply, I'm just going to scale like that. And what we can do is just scale down the lips like so. And we can get a nice, very simple stop motion-y style noodly mouth. I think it's kind of fun. And what we can do, we can actually animate this with a few hooks. Like if you add some hooks to this with the rig, we can actually animate this and say, you know, ho ho ho, happy Christmas, that sort of stuff. If we have the time. I don't know if we'll have the time today, but we can always continue off on tomorrow morning if we have to. All right, cool. Again, I might add a little bit more rotation in the lips at the top and add a bit more depth in the mouth there. How cool is that? Done. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we could probably add some beardage, maybe. I might add the make the origin to the geometry. We can always work on the beard, or we can work on the body. So I might work on the beard first. The beard is a little bit tricky, but we'll get there. Oh, cheers. So the beard, we're going to have to worry about the back of his head and, you know, obviously his body. But we can start with the mustache. The mustache should be pretty easy to do. We're going to grab a cube. I'm going to edit that. I'm going to remove the 1/2 of the cube. Push X to delete. And then in the modifiers, I'm going to add a mirror. Scale down that box in object mode. All the way down. Keep going until it fits just under the lips. And no, I'm not making a Hitler Santa, I'm making a Santa Claus, don't worry. It'll get there. We'll get the mustache there. In a moment. Alright. Apply the scale and apply the rotation. And then in edit mode, we can start to shape out the mustache. So a bushy mustache for Santa Claus here. Select that loop. I'm going to scale that down in the middle. And then just extrude out a nice Santa Claus-like mustache. I could always do handlebar mustache if you want to have bikey Santa, if you want as well. Alright. So as you see, really simple shit. Just getting the shape to how I want it. And we can fix up the side view in a moment. And that will do, I reckon. And we want to make this looking a little bit more, we want to get it looking a little bit more, I guess you could say, fluffy. So I want to add a edge loop in the center line as well. Turn on clipping on the mirror modifier to stop it from going stupid. Go. So it's been about half an hour, I think, and we've smashed out like the head pretty well. It's a pretty good result for about half an hour's work. So now it's just a matter of refining that. We can subdivide that now. Looking alright. What do you guys think? Not bad, huh? If I really want to have that curl up, like that Santa mustache curl, I can always grab the ends here. Sure, I selected everything, and really get it up and rotate it. You know, there we go. That's looking good. If we turn off the wireframe, it's coming along. It's coming along. Let's smooth out these nose, smooth out the eyebrows. Not bad. All right, so now let's do the beard area, the beard and the other parts. But first, let's bring the hat down a little bit. I like the hat to be a little bit lower. There we go. That's looking a bit better there. And then let's add some ears. So all I'm going to do is grab a cylinder. I want to turn on cap fills to be N-gon. So when I look at the wireframe I don't want it to be like just a single plane. Let's delete that. I want it to have triangle fan. So that's a better option. Let's bring that height down, so depth down to like, you know, some small amount. And the amount of verts is fine. We don't really have to worry too much about that. We'll worry about that later. But what we need to do is delete 1/2 of this. Faces. Delete that half. Faces. And just smash it off. Just get rid of all. There we go. And what we're going to do is just create some ears. So I'm just going to create some ears out of this. Go into edit mode again. Oops, sorry, not extrude. My bad. Rotate the ear like so. And again, this is a stylized, simple sort of design. So doesn't have to be too fancy. And I'm just going to extrude out a little bit on the side there. Like so. And I can make that smaller. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Just like that. And after that, let's add a mirror modifier, just like we did before. And finally, we're going to add a bevel. So just to give it a little bit of softness around the edges. So I want to add a little bit of a bevel around the edges. But what I can do, I'm going to select these edges here. Go into isolation mode. I'm going to select every edge, just in case. Here. And I'm going to push, I'm going to right click and select the edge bevel weight and just crank that up to 100. And they'll turn blue. They haven't gone beveled yet because we have to add the modifier. But if we add the modifier now, you can see if we go to limit method and set it to weight, we're going to have a lot more control over our bevel. It's very picky though because I don't think I've applied the scale. Oh, I have. Okay. There it goes. It's a really small number though. There we go. 0.02, add 2 segments. And now we have a nice smooth bevel on those ears. So it's looking pretty cool now. Looking pretty cool. What we need to have to do now is add the beard. And I might have to make the neck a little longer as well. So I might make the neck a little longer on his head. Just get it in there. There we go. That'll do. And so let's add again. I think I might actually duplicate. Oh, let's see. What can I do? If I were to subdivide the face, I'm going to duplicate that and then apply the subdivision. I will have enough geometry to extrude out a face. So I might just do that. So this is a duplicate version of the face that has an applied subdivision on it. I'm going to scale that up a little bit, just a tiny tad. And then in isolation mode, or not in isolation mode, in edit mode, I'm going to just delete parts I don't need. So I don't need the face. This part here. I'm going to delete that part. And let me turn on random view, by the way. Just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm deleting the areas that would constitute the beard, or not the beard, the face. So I'm just going to work out where I need the beard to be. All right, there we go. Delete that side. Delete that side. It'll all make sense in a moment. Let's go into his head. I'm going to delete the head area. Oops. All right, and that could actually be all right for his that actually might work out for his face. as in like his top of his head if we ever had to show it. So what I'm going to do is now shape the beard to sort of fit within like a what do you do? I might actually bring back some parts now that I think about it. I want to keep a little bit of cheek, so cheek beardage. So I want this to happen, something like that. There we go. I think that will look better. You'll see why in a moment. Then I'll delete the head. Alright, cool. That'll do. And what we can do then is just smooth out this part here, this one here. I'm just going to smooth it using the smooth tool and round off those corners. With these bottom ones, I might just lift them up. Just give it like that. All right. So what I'm doing, I'm just I might turn on mirroring actually. There we go. Just smoothing it out a little bit, getting it looking like this a little bit. Just what would a beard look like? There we go. And I think that will work all right. And now what we need to do is add like his bushiness. Well, the first thing I want to do is just one thing, is add a little bit of a thing like that. All right, cool. And if we were to subdivide this, it will start to look all right. See what I mean? It kind of looks like a beard. This looks like 5 o'clock's shadow at the moment, but we'll get there, we'll get there. So let's turn that off for now. And we're going to extrude out his beard from around this area here. So I'll try to add another loop there for now. Actually, no, let's not worry about that. Let's just extrude out. And you can always use have mirror modifier for this instead of selecting everything. If you screw it up, feel free to use the mirror modifier. So I was going to select this area there. And let's see what happens. There we go. That looks all right. Beard is just working. Beard is working. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. And then all we need to do now is just smooth things out. So we're going to add a few more subdivisions along the beard. And then we're going to use the sculpt tools to just soften it out a little bit and really smooth that out. Looks like I got some inverted normals there, so I might fix those up as well. So if we go to normals, let's have a look and see what's happened. Options, view, normals. Where are we? Presets. Oh, that's right. It just needs to be smooth. All right, cool, fair enough. All right. So all I'm going to do now is just like just get the shape that I like for Santa. Just so. There we go. I think that'll do because I want to keep it sort of stylized as well. I want to keep it sort of within that sort of motion graphics sort of look. The only thing I want to do now is maybe add a little bit of a bit of a tuft of hair at the back of his head. So what I'm going to do is let's see how it looks. We'll see how it looks, but I'm going to extrude out just this area here. Alt E extrude along normals, and then scale down. And then smooth. All right. And what we'll end up having is something like this, where it's sort of like his head, the back of his head is like, you know, like he's combed his hair back, sort of thing. And if we wanted to, we can always add, we could get rid of the back of his neck now. So, gonna get rid of that, because you don't want to have a hairy neck. Santa doesn't have hairy neck. He takes care of himself. And to round out the beard, we're going to I think I might add an edge loop that goes into the back into the body. So like this. F. And eventually we'll have something like this. Merge that. We got ourselves a pretty good Santa beard. And that will round out nicely once we turn on the subdivision surface. Like so. See what I mean? I think that's looking alright. And in this case, I am going to mirror modify this beard setup. Turn on clipping, put it at the top. And I think I want to do one last thing, and that is to add a solidify modifier. And I'm going to put that above the subdivision surface, because that will allow me to get some nice thickness around his beard area. Like so. And I'm going to change the offset to 0, because then I'll get like a nice even distribution there as well. And you can see here that the hat is not wide enough for his head, so I might actually delete the rest of his head in edit mode as well. So let me just turn off those modifiers and just delete the crown. There we go. And there's our Santa hat. And if we want to do something a bit fun, what we can do to get maybe some hair at the side of his head, we can maybe duplicate this mustache, and instead of having it clipping turned on, I'm going to turn off clipping. And in edit mode, I'm going to select everything and just get the beard to sort of like the mustache to become part like of his hair. Maybe. We'll just see how that looks. Oops. Kind of works, kind of doesn't, but we can see. We'll run with it. We'll run with it. And we'll just modify that mustache a little bit just to get like that going. All right, there's Santa's face done. Now it's onto the body. How cool is that? So again, just under an hour to do Santa's face. Not a bad result, I think. Especially for that sort of like storybook style, effect. Now the body is going to be really easy. The body's going to be a lot easier than the beard and all that sort of stuff. So what we can do is add a torus. We're going to scale that down. And I'm going to like just lean it forward a little bit. Just like that. Bring it up to his neck, like so. And I'm going to make it really puffy. So in edit mode, I'm going to go to Alt S and scale that up so it's super puffy. So it really covers the neck. There we go. Shade smooth. Apply scale. Apply rotation. And there's the first part of our Christmas, his Santa suit. Now what I'm going to do is go back into edit mode with this Taurus, and I'm going to select only a portion of the body. So maybe this portion here. I'm going to duplicate that with Shift D and P. Push P to separate selection, and this part will become part of his will now become the body of Santa. I'm going to grab that. And you can even have him have a cloak if you wanted to. If you wanted to like really make it look really medieval. I just realized that this stupid thing has rotations on it. Like the wrong kind of rotations. Let's do that again. Fuck it. Alright, torso, Taurus. Scale down. Like so. Rotate. Keep it scaled down again. You want to make sure it's nice and straight, because I want to use it as a body. I'm going to scale that up. Alt S, obviously. Again. I'm going to get that nice and puffy. There we go. Now, let's do the same thing. Shade smooth, but I'm going to copy a certain part of this thing. I'm going to make sure the scale's applied first, and then copy this part of the tube. Shift D, then P on the keyboard to separate, and then in edit mode of that selected area, of that duplicated area, I'm going to get the inner circle, and then just scale that out, and you can see it looking a lot better now. And again, if you wanted to have him wear a cloak, you can do that. Otherwise, I can have him turn into a big fat ball. So I might do the big fat ball in this case. This is a very European style Santa, I would say. So what I'm going to do now is just add a bunch of edge loops slowly but surely. So I'm going to get this edge loop and make him look bigger, 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 just like that. Until he kind of looks somewhat fat. Am I allowed to say fat? I don't know. He's a jolly old fat man. What are you going to expect? Alright, cool. There we go. Looking pretty jolly, I reckon. What do you reckon? Jolly? I reckon that's jolly. Subdivide that. And add another Taurus. And that will be the base of his body. I'll give that a bit of rotation as well. There we go. Smooth that out. And then we're just going to add a strip of faces down the center line. So firstly, I want to subdivide this a little bit. Let's see how this looks subdivided a little bit. So I want to add a few more loops there, because it'll be easier to deform when it's animated. But I'm not going crazy. I've seen people do like crazy amounts of subdivisions on this sort of stuff. Like, yeah, it's really annoying. But what I want to do is just keep it simple. It's enough that we can work with, you know what I mean? So I'm just very, very carefully modifying what I got. by 1. There we go. That's looking better now. Cool. Now he's looking really, really fun. But what I want to do now is copy the center line, these parts here of that body. So I copy that, Shift D, boom, and offset it just ever so slightly. Sorry, I had a damn alarm on for some reason. Ever so slightly, I'm going to offset that with a Alt S, and then I'm going to separate that selection as well, like so. And then we're going to add a solidify again, put it above the subdivision surface, and set the offset to 0, and increase the thickness. Turn it back on subdivision surface, and we got ourselves our white winter coat area there. How cool is that? Really simple stuff. And all we need to do now is just modify it slightly so it's a bit more even across the board. So all I want to do is grab parts of the suit and just widen it out. So you may notice that the simplest objects inform the rest when I'm doing this. It's like really simple. There's not much edge flow considerations because it's all very simple geometry. It doesn't need to worry about it because it's all just, it already has the edge flow in it. It's already good, you know what I mean? Because we're working with quads all the way. Turn on mirroring there. Just scale that in. There we go. Turn on the features again. How nice is that? Super nice. All right. For the bottom of the body, we're going to we could probably go with a round cube. Actually, we're going to go with a round cube. Add a round cube. I'm going to add a second set of subdivisions, so 4, 5 arcs, 6 arcs. I'm going to scale that down to fit into his body. And you can see I'm off axis, so I might actually bring him forward as well. But firstly, I just want to scale that down a little bit. I don't want to, I don't need to use the entire sphere in this case. So I'm going to add a scale, apply the scale. I just want to add a base for his legs to be extruded out of. So what I'm going to do is, this gives me some space to put his legs, and I'm going to actually, going to delete 1/2, and you'll understand in a second. I'm going to then mirror that, and then I'm going to select a bunch of faces to represent the leg extrusion. But before I do that, I want to turn on another add-on called Loop Tools. So Loop Tools is a plugin in Blender as well. That's really cool. I'd say install it. It's really good little plugin, and it allows you to do cool stuff like this. Circularize areas of a mesh. That means I can now extrude out perfectly circular tubes for the legs. Done. And I might add a little bit of a knee, obviously. Like so. There's his legs. And add a few more subdivisions. There we go. And we're good to go. Done. Again, we can add a subdivision surface. We'll get rid of the base of his foot there. Don't need that anymore. But what we can do is add a torus. So mesh, Taurus. Again, we're going to bring a Taurus down for his boots. Because Santa has fluffy boots. Like so. And I might just very slightly make that a little bit smaller. I don't want to mirror. I want to mirror it, but I don't want it to intersect between the center line of his legs. So I'm just going to scale that down a little bit, and then scale it up. There we go. I think that works for me. And finally, let's mirror that. Whoops. Apply the location to get it to mirror properly. Shade smooth. All right, there's our Santa's legs. Not too shabby. And then his feet. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy a region of those legs. Copy any old region. Copy that. Or duplicate, rather. Separate by selection. And we're going to just work out his feet now. So I'm going to keep it really simple. Scale the feet flat with control, scale X or scale Z0. That'll allow you to scale those in. And grabbing those front areas, I'm just going to extrude forward. Like so. You can see here the subdivision is still doing its thing, so I want to delete that for now. Delete the bottoms of those feet for now, because we'll fix that up in a moment. And there's our feet for the most part. Our feet's coming along. We just had to add a little bit of structure. So add more subdivisions, basically. So I'm going to scale the first subdivision first edge loop first, so that's nice and straight. Let's clean that up as well, actually. Okay. And what we need to do is just continue on the shape. It's going to be basically the cap of a circle, essentially. And feel free to ask questions about this stuff as we're watching through, because yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. All right. And I might just extrude out just a little bit of a shoe top. Just a little bit of a boot top. Just a little bit. Like so. And the cool thing is we actually use the circle tool to circle that out a little bit further. And just work with that in mind. And we got ourselves a Santa shoe. And how cool is that? Alright. Add a few more subdivisions to the feet to allow us to be able to rig this guy properly. There we go. Now let's have a go and see how this is looking away from this. So feet are looking pretty good. Shade smooth. We can always smooth out the top of the feet with a bit of a smooth brush. There we go. Just to get it looking a bit more like a boot. There we go. I like that. And if I want to, I think I might just rotate the Taurus a little bit, just to give it a little bit more character. There we go. That looks good. And finally, we just have to add fill up the feet with the feet. And don't worry, guys. I'm gonna get through this entire model, and then maybe tomorrow we'll. So I got time tomorrow to do another stream. Tomorrow I will do the materials. So that'll be fun. So I'm just filling in the bottom of the foot like that. And then just to give it a little bit more character. So I want to give it a bit more of a boot-like character. So like, you know, maybe get his heel up, I don't know. No, fuck it. Let's not worry about that. I might just add a bevel, add a little bit of a bevel, just to smooth out the base of his foot. With Control B, add a few segments. And there's his feet done. Alright. We're almost done. How cool is that? Within about an hour and a half, 2 hours, we've almost done a full Santa model. How fun is it? It's really, really cool. Oh, cheers. Alright. Last thing we need to do is add his arms. So the arms, again, are going to be super simple. I could do it either as an extrusion through here, or I could do it as just separate elements, but I might do it just as an extrusion just to be consistent. I could fix up the edge flow a little bit to be like less, like, so it flows over the body, but I don't think I need to because it's already circularizing around there, so that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is simply just grab, I don't know, this, maybe a bit higher, whatever the center line of his body is, or body mass is, like that, and save the file because I want to save that as a backup, and then circularize. So I'm going to add a circle like so, and yeah, it doesn't look great at the moment. That's okay, it's fine, we'll fix it up in a sec. And delete that face. And then I'm just going to extrude out his arms. Just straight out like so. Obviously we only got one side of the body done, so let's delete one half of the body and add a mirror modifier. Where's that mirror modifier? There we go. Alright, sweet. So I'm going to keep it in a T pose this time, just to make life easier. And Mixamo also prefers T poses. The only thing I want to do is make sure that when I bring his arms down, actually, let's see, I want to keep his arms nice and plus he's also chunky, so it's harder to make sure that you get the right sort of shape around his body. So around there. Alright, cool. Now here's a little trick of mine to bring that back up. So what I want to do, I'm going to select this edge loop around the arm. It looks like a mess, right? But if I go to cursor to selected, that's all good. And if I switch it over from the pivot to 3D cursor, I can now just rotate it up back to the right proportion, and we're golden. Yeah, there we go. That's a good length for his arms. Turn off 3D cursor again, and then now I'm just going to scale X0 to flatten that out. And it may look like the arms are long, but with the proportions I have, it should be fine. I might make it a little bit shorter just because. And then add just a bunch of edge loops. Done. Alright, so first, now let's work on this little artifacts here. So I'm just going to smooth out that area there with a smooth brush. And in order to keep some volume in that shoulder, what we can do is bevel an area. So we probably have to bevel out an area to get that shoulder structure back. 1, 2, 3. Let's just try these. Control B. Yeah, that'll be fine actually. Control B. Keep those two there. And then grab the edge loop there, and we're going to delete that one. We're going to cut the knife there. Do the same thing here. Select that, delete that. That will help maintain a bit of volume around that arm, hopefully. Do the same thing there. And we got ourselves some makeshift shoulders. Hopefully that will be alright. We could probably delete that actually. Actually, we need it. Yeah, we need to keep that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going with a stylized sort of character. As long as we have a nice smooth volume there, that's fine. And we can just add a little bit of a shoulder if we wanted to there. There we go. And there we have it. There's our body for Santa. Largely done. And I could have actually just gone away with just having tubes. That would have been fine, but I wanted to have a little bit of character. I wanted to have a little bit of a, you know, seamless effect going on. Because what I want to do after this, I might actually add a little bit of a concave effect to get the stitching, maybe, but we'll see. What I'm going to do now is quickly just scale X0, scale X0, scale X0 along the arm because it'll just be easier to deal with. There we go. And this is what I mean by the shoulders. We probably have to get like at least an edge loop going up along there. So what I might do is just get the shoulders working like so. Again, I'm just making it up as I go along. 1, 2. I think this would be it. No. From here. 1, 2. There. And that should do for the shoulders. That should be fine. But we'll see. We'll see. Because now we have a nice edge loop that goes over the shoulders. We have an edge loop that goes under the arm. And then enough space at the top. So, yeah, that's the only part where I'd be a stickler about, you know, adding a little bit of volume. Because if you look at now, if you do it now with the wireframe turned on, you can see it's adding volume to that shoulder area quite nicely. Smooth that out now. You'll see. There we go. Yeah, that was good. Happy with that. I think I went. Did I go too far on each side? No, I think it's okay. Yeah, it looks fine. All right. And in order to keep the nice volume that we had on the arms, I'm just going to grab these edge loops and just circularize them. Just to keep that sort of stop motion-y, noodly arm effect going on. See how they're like perfect circles now? All right. So here we are. We're almost at the end here. We just have to do the hands, and we're going to do mittens this time. We're not going to do full-on hands because they're too complicated. With the face, when sculpting the face, I'd say it's always best to start with really simple geometry. What kind of model, what kind of character are you doing? You're doing something that's trying to be realistic? You're trying to do something that's got a lot of detail in the face? Or you're going with something like this, where it's like really simple, sort of stylized effects? It really depends, because if you're going with, if you're learning for the first time and you're doing faces, you're better off going with something that's like really soft and smooth, and it's easy to understand the structure, practice the structure. than going into like full-on detail, like with wrinkles and all that sort of stuff. That's my recommendation, at least, I think. It really depends. But if you keep it simple and just try and go with simple geometry with at the start, you'll be able to practice that structure. The other thing is just keeping your poly count low as possible until you have to go up a few levels with the structure of the face when sculpting. All right, so there's his body. We're going to add another torus. Yeah, cool. In that case, it's really just about trying to keep your poly count low while sculpting until you have to go up, I think. I do plan on making a video series of modeling without sculpting because it's quite a tricky thing to do right. So I want to do a traditional modeling tutorial series once I finish the rigging series. So hopefully next year I'll be able to get that up and running. All right, so there's our model. There's the, oops, sorry. I want to turn the mirroring on. So let's make sure rotation, scale, location's all done. Let's add a mirror modifier. And there we have it. Our fluffy arms are up and running. Like so. So now it's just really about the hands. And once we're done with that, we're pretty much done with Santa. Santa's good to go. Let's turn off the wireframe preview. You can see it's looking really fun, isn't it? It's looking really, really cool. And we can always make his beard more fluffy. You know, we can always you know, get that you know, jolly inflated beard going. There we go. That looks cool. Smooth out that area. All right, so the hands are really easy. The hands are super easy. We're going to start with a cube. Scale down the hand, that cube. And just get it into that size of the hand that you want. And we're just going to go straight up with the, that looks like the right size for me. I'm going to scale it, location, rotation, mirror. All right, that looks okay for me. And eventually I might say the arms are too long, but you know, that's okay. That's okay. All right, next thing we need to do is add some subdivisions along both the X and the Y. And then in the center, oops, at the back of the hand, I want to do his wrist. Let's going to extrude out his wrist a little bit. So extrude like so, and then delete that area there. All right. And just scale that out a little bit along the side, like so. Scale that out a little bit, like so. And then I'm going to add a single edge loop down the center line, like that. Select everything, and then I'm just going to smooth it out just so it has a bit of a mitten-like effect. And you'll notice that when I do this, his hands start to shrink a little bit, which is probably a good thing in our case. All right. After I've done that, I'm going to go into sculpt mode and just inflate the shit out of it. Just inflate it. Just to get it looking a bit more mitten-like. And then smooth out the corners just to get it looking like a mitten. There we go. All right, so for the thumb, so this is my method for doing a thumb from now on. This so I want to select this, and here. I'm going to then extrude out a thumb-like structure, like his palm. So inside of you can see it's doing its the palm area. And then I'm just going to extrude out. I'm going to add 2 edge loops there. And then here, I'm going to extrude out the thumb. and then circularize. Boom. And there's my thumb. And then all I gotta do now is sculpt and smooth it out. And we've got ourselves a nice, very good deforming thumb. Actually, it actually deforms really well. And then I'm gonna add a few edge loops and just smooth out that structure. And there's my new thumb method. Compared to my original tutorials, it's a massive, massive time saver. And I'll probably make a whole new tutorial just on doing fingers and thumbs in the future. But that's all we need to do, really. And I can add a little bit more, you know, structure there. But there's our thumb. Let's increase the length there. All right. So I think I started this feed how long ago? How long did I do it there? It's only been an hour. We've done it in an hour and 16 minutes. So an hour and 16 minutes, we've done Santa. Santa's done. How cool is that? So if I wanted to now, I could start to do materials. But first, before we do that, I want to have a little fun with this. I'm going to export this guy out, and I want to show you that it does work with animation. It actually does work. It animates really well with this model. We're going to export it to Mixamo and get some like easy animation in there.